quickly destroy the Archaeotech engine.
Nothing can be done hastily and prudently, Brother Barakiel.
So answers an apothecary.
I'm in place.
I am in place.
Then also uncounted.
Let's see. Hey everybody. Welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. So I guess Restream had a problem, or has had a problem for a couple hours or so. I'm not sure exactly how long. So that's why we haven't been here, so I apologize. But I have been doing the lion's share of the work to get these cultists done. I mean, everything's cut now. I'm literally just putting them together and sticking them on bases. I hope you guys enjoy my new little setup. I had a major catastrophe today with my computer. Literally had to reinstall Windows and everything. I mean, it took me quite a while to get everything squared away. I don't know what happened, but looks like we've got everything squared away. And what it did is it prompted me to want to have to do, or not have to do, but it prompted me to want to do other things, like make this little, window and the backdrop, and kind of get OBS a little more organized, go through some games and sort them out and make sure that they were, working or whatever. I will say this before we get any further. I know that, or at least I can tell that right now Twitch is still down. It's just YouTube that's working. So I apologize to all my Twitch followers. It's kind of out of my hands, guys. There's not really anything I can do about it. Yeah, man, we've got, let's see, what do we got here? 10, 20. We got 20 cultists of the, I believe, 100 cultists. Wait a minute, is that right? Oh, let me think. There's 20 or maybe 80 cultists. Here you go. That are assembled. And like I said, man, I pulled that thing over way too far. Never have that in the screen. But anyway, like I said, I got everything all cut up and everything. There's more over there. If I can pan around a little bit without disturbing everything. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. And then hopefully, if I'm not too tired by the time this is done, I want to get some gameplay going. And I hope you guys enjoyed the, the little, gameplay with the Space Hulk stuff. I realized I was looking back at stuff and I was like, man, it looks so grainy and everything, and you know what I mean. I've got such a dang good computer, and blah blah blah, and come to find out, well, settings weren't right. There was a firmware update for my camera. There was all kinds of stuff that I figured out. So maybe this whole everything going down was a boon, because I'm even looking at the other screen right now, and I can tell even I look sharper and better in the camera, and as well as me personally and the models and stuff. So hopefully that's doing well for you guys as well. Obviously on YouTube, if you're not familiar, like I wasn't for a long time, you can change your resolution or whatever to see things a lot better. So if that's something you want to do, you can check down below in the settings on your video. And yeah, man, it's, I guess, relatively simple from there. Anyway, putting these guys together, I realized that Games Workshop must have gone out of their way to really paint these guys different from each other, because they don't, the box art, again, like I mentioned about the soul grinders and things like that, does not, in my opinion, it does not do these guys justice. I'm looking at these little models and I'm like, dang, dude, these guys are cool. And I thought that they were going to be, like just a big old thorn in my side. And they're not. They're pretty cool. Matter of fact, they remind me a lot of Tusken Raiders from Star Wars. And they also remind me of Valhallan, if I said that right, Valhallan Imperial Guard, with their robes and the wraps around their arms and ankles and stuff. So they could very well be traitor guardsmen in their own right in that regard. So I'm pretty stoked about it. Plus the gas masks and all that kind of stuff. Call them dust masks if you want. It really. I'm pretty impressed. I'm still gonna cut the head off. I'm still gonna cut the head off of this dude right here. Without a doubt, because that face is just out of control. It's got to go. I'm cutting the head off of that and I'm putting something else on. But each to their own, I guess. But again, apologize that I wasn't here on time. It was out of my control. I tried a few times. It just didn't pan out, I guess. And the people over at Twitch, they're working hard, and that, and that's something I wanted to say too. And this might piss off some people. I don't really care. I don't ever care what anybody has to say, to be honest with you. But the amount of people that got on there on the Discord, running their little mouths, bitching, and well, so long Twitch, blah blah blah. Look, I get it that some of you out there might be paying for a service, okay, but you're also paying for a service that you realize, I hope you realize, or you should realize, that these things happen. How many times, just, and it's sheerly coincidental, has your computer ever shit the bed on you, honestly? And if you say never, you're a fucking liar. But to sit there and berate the volunteers in Discord and things like that, look, I'm not a paid Discord person, and that's the first thing. And I'm willing to bet I would bet my bottom dollar, if I had it to spend there, that the people that were complaining weren't really paid people. And if they are, it's not like you're paying that much anyway. You know, you're gonna get on there and go, I got 60 people, you know, paid customers waiting for me, blah blah blah. Okay, none of that makes the situation any better. None of that's gonna get the servers up and running any faster. You know, I mean, and here's the thing. Like I said, I firmly believe that the majority of those people that were complaining probably are like me. They don't even pay for the service. Then some dude gets on there. I couldn't believe this. Some dude gets on there and says something about make the service free for multiple platforms instead of $2 or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said. And I wanted to say something so bad, but I was like, no, just stay what you're doing. Don't get drug into this. You got work to do, basically, and I do. You know, these guys. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, bro, one, it is free, and two, yes, you can stream on multiple services. I mean, you know, you can, because I mean, I do it when, you know, everything's working like it's supposed to. You know, I mean, Twitch and YouTube, that's multiple, unless he means like even more than that. I don't know. But the point is, and I'm sure you guys get the point. I don't know why you gotta make it. Holy shit, man! Could you be any more of a freaking, you know, asshole for people that are sitting there panicking probably about what's going on, the money they're losing as well, and the potential for customer, you know, a widespread amount of customers to leave. And if you can't understand that, then you've never actually run a real business. And I'm not talking about YouTube or Twitch or whatever. You know, you could say, oh, that's my business, that's my line of work, that's what pays my bills. You know what? Great. Guess what? Oh, that broke off. There's a lot of people in this world that, you know, have other jobs, and we'll say real jobs, physical jobs where they have to be there and stuff. And guess what happens? They lose their jobs too, or something goes wrong. The company folds, you know, goes bankrupt, whatever, you know. And you know, you complicating the problem by sitting there bitching about it and threatening you're gonna leave, blah blah blah. Well, let's see. I don't know much about, you know, streaming. I mean, you know, hell, I mean, I've been on, I guess, a year, a little over a year, but I mean, I don't really know. I mean, you can tell that by my followers, but the amount of followers I got, I guess, or the hobby that I'm in and what I chose to do. But again, that's my choice. But, you know, I'm pretty sure that YouTube and Twitch are the most popular streaming services when it comes to this stuff. And I'm pretty sure that Restream is also one, if not the most popular, you know, deal for setting things up and so forth and so on. You're one person, and if you think you're gonna grab a million other folks to go with you, and you know, because of your little attitude and shit like that, you're stupid. You really are. That's not gonna happen. You know, it's, you know, it's just not. But you know, that's the society we live in now. Freaking entitlement. You know, entitlement disguising elitism, and a lot of people don't like to hear that about themselves or whatever. And all right, whatever. You go do you, man. You know, you do you. But anyway, it was just a little disheartening to see that, and I gave a fist bump any chance I was able to, you know, to the people working there at Twitch, and especially the volunteer. A volunteer, you're gonna give a volunteer a bunch of shit, man? What's wrong with you? They're not even getting paid. It just, I don't know, man. People have lost their senses of who they are, so forth and so on. You know, what really matters in life. Just dumb. But what are you gonna do, man? Oh dang, I'm over here cutting these things off. I just realized that's a buckle. And it'll probably get broken off anyway with gameplay. I'm not too concerned about it. One thing's for certain, these cultists, because I won't be removing them off their bases, they will definitely be helping me out in regards to using up all these little 25mm slotted bases. Got tons of these things. And I better enjoy that. I don't even know if I can use that word for this, but enjoy this push fit nonsense here, because when I get back into Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines and Eldar and Tyranids and blah blah blah, Dark Eldar, good God, man, between Dark Eldar and Eldar, I'm probably gonna go insane putting their little arms on and shit, or trying to get them on. It's gonna be hilarious. Okay, this one's all fucked up. We can't use that one. Thanks a lot, Games Workshop. Sent me a jacked up friggin' base. No worries though. It's not the end of the world. Unless you're on Twitch. Or you're a streamer that's has no maturity and losing your freaking mind over nothing. Let's see here. Yeah, Twitch still down. That's okay. Hopefully, well, I'll explain it again tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll all be back up and running. They're doing what they can. So. But yeah, man, I mean, it ain't much, but I'm proud of my little setup there with the little control panel, which comes from Dawn of War, by the way. My minor, you know, ability to manipulate graphics, if you will. I mean, it ain't perfect, but works for me. I gotta get into my Nexus account. I saw today that there's a reskin, or not, I don't know if you want to call it a reskin, but a environmental reskin, I'll say that, for Space Marine. And I looked at some of the pictures, and wow, does it look good. Like, I mean, it looks really good. Like a remastered version or something. It's pretty legit. But I was trying to get in there, and I redid my password and all, but it still won't, still saying it's not right. Which is crazy, because they sent me the thing on my email. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's not that big a deal. I'm not getting shot at, so there's that, right? Right. That's how we should look at everything, in my mind. Not getting shot at, so what are we complaining about? Gotta make sure these are turned around the right way. For those of you that are new to hobbying, I mean, probably not hardly any of you that are watching my channel, but if you are, pay attention to your bases if you haven't already figured this out. I don't care if it's a slotted base like this, or when you put your model on a flat base or a non-slotted base. The reason being is you may, you know, how are most people going to look at your models or admire them? From the front, right? And that's pretty much where you want to have most of your focus as far as your paint, you know, your paint jobs and stuff like that as well, to bring the eye to the front of your model for the most part. Well, that being said, the same thing applies to any, you know, basing decoration or anything like that that you may want to put on there. So make sure that, especially if you have a slotted base like these, that you put, you know, and they're made that way on purpose. I mean, they're not, you know, it's not directly in the middle, so that way you've got some room in the front to do some decoration and make your model stand out. But if you do it the other way, then all of that room is in the back. So just, you know, just pay a little attention to it. But yeah, man, I had to redo everything. OBS, I mean, it was basically an entire system-wide crash. And then, you know, I'm all excited to get on tonight and show you guys my new setup that I had done and stuff. And then, nope, restream's down. It's like, dang, man. And I mean, I probably could have got. Now that I'm thinking about it, and you have to forgive me again. I'm not like some uber streaming guru. I'm trying to get there. You know, learn stuff or whatever. But what was I gonna say? I probably could have put in a key for just YouTube and got on, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much of a pain that would have been going back and forth like that. Again, I'm not as savvy as most of the YouTubers or streamers out there, so that's something, you know, that I gotta like really look at and analyze what I'm doing before I mess something up. I mean, I've still got a couple things I gotta work out on my computer here, like I'm not able to connect my headphones for whatever reason, my Bluetooth headphones or earbuds, and that's a little bit problematic because of school. Or I need them for school, but thankfully I do have another computer that I can do everything on as well, so all is not lost. This guy's got even like a little piece of armor on, so I mean, he could very well, I mean, his whole body, I mean, look at that, it looks like a guard guy, like some kind of guard guy. I like it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint them in a way like they're guard, you know, and then they'll match the ones in the Blackstone Fortress box set too, if I do that, so that would be good. Right? I mean, makes sense to me, right? And of course, the ones in the Blackstone Fortress one, I think they have Cadian helmets on, or like a Cadian helmet or whatever. So it might be a little out of whack, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe these are cultists that are super veterans of the Long War. I was also able to, I have this thing now, it's called Live View, because I've tried to use BlueStacks and stuff, you know, to be able to play my Android Warhammer games like Horus Heresy, Drop Assault and stuff like that on my computer, but I just couldn't get it to work. And it was actually, like, it just doesn't want to work with Windows 10 or whatever, and I'm not going to 11 right now. And I don't think Microsoft has done their emulator yet. I don't know. I need to probably check in on that. But this thing called Live View, and it worked like a charm. I mean, hopefully it's, you know, not any kind of malicious anything. I don't think it is. I mean, I think my antivirus would have picked it up by now, but it worked out pretty well. I was actually pretty stoked about that. And I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but old boy that sent me a funny message on one of the Slanesh streams. He's like, you know, hey, you didn't finish or whatever. That was pretty funny. So, right, come on, man, why aren't you gluing now? There you go. Yeah, we'll get all these guys done, and when these guys are done, I mean, literally, that's it. I mean, now, like I said before, these, excuse me, these cultists, they're going to be painted in such a way that they could be used for any Chaos Army. Okay, so relatively neutral, I would say. But that being said, they will be the end of the Slanesh army, and then I will move on to. I think I'm just going to move on to Thousand Suns because I still haven't decided what I want to do with the Iron Warriors yet. And I have everything, you know, ready, if you will, for Thousand Suns. I mean, I still got to cut it, you know, open the boxes and cut things off sprue and stuff. But I mean, I don't have to sit there and think about what I want to do, you know, because I'm using the actual Thousand Suns models, not Betrayal at Calth or whatever, you know. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Because I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, if I don't use them for Iron Warriors, then what the heck am I going to use them for? You know. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say, well, you could use them for salamanders. I don't really like that grill on the Burning of Prospero models. What is that, Mark III, I believe? I don't really like that grill. I like the Mark IV. You know, I'm not into beaky Marines per se, but that kind of beak, I like that, you know, for my salamanders. So, but I may mix some in. I mean, we'll see how creative I get with it. And that's the thing, I have 5 boxes of Betrayal, or Battle at Calth, or Betrayal at Calth. I think it's Betrayal. And only 4 boxes of the Burning of Prospero. So we're talking over 100 Marines either way on each side. So it's a pretty sizable force. So that last box, you know, I could potentially mix that in or swap it out, you know, and bring some of the Mark III in or something like that, you know. I'll tell you what though, man, in my opinion, Games Workshop really screwed up with that, like not continuing that box set. That was like, those 2 box sets were amazing. I thought they were going to keep going with that. Man, if they'd have kept going with it, I'd have, you know, especially making them kind of, or stop making the boxes. What the heck, man? You know, and why can't you stay, you know, why can't you stay consistent with the freaking size of the models? I mean, all you're doing is messing people up, but I know why. You know, I mean, I'm saying why can't you, but I know why. It's so that people go, oh god, I don't like the way it looks, I need to go buy the new ones, you know, or whatever. And I get that. I mean, that's how people are. I'm not gonna do that. I would rather not buy any anymore because of that very reason, you know, but you know, and I don't need to. Alright, what do we got, 40 here? 10, 20, 30, 40, yep. Alright. Now we're getting a little bit easier here, I think. Oh crap, I forgot to shave off the bottoms. That's alright, I'll get it here in a second. Great. I need to press this in, and his back is spiny, pushing right into my freaking fingers. Great. I love it. Nothing like a little pain when you're putting your models together. Freaking. So yeah, if you're just tuning in again, Restream was down for a few hours or however long. I guess it's still down on Twitch. I'm not seeing any movement. It's saying that I'm live on Twitch, but it's not showing the video at all. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. This is why I tell people, you know, check out my Discord and you'll see what's going on, and also check me out on YouTube. That way you can show up there if Twitch is down or one of the others down or whatever. this guy, I don't know if you guys have ever read it, and I would have to go looking on my shelf to find it. But this guy right here reminds me of this story that I read of some guardsmen that became traitor guardsmen, and they were connected to one another to the point that if one was wounded, like they drew their strength off of each other and whatnot, but if one was wounded, then the rest, you know, everybody got the same scars that one got. I think even if they were killed, it didn't matter. And there was a sergeant, I guess, guardsman or whatever, chaos, you know, or traitor guardsman. The dude was like all scarred up, and I'm thinking it's called Inferno magazine or whatever. I got it over here on the shelf somewhere, but it's pretty awesome. Again, I've been in this hobby for a long time, and not just for the models and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. I mean, it's black and white comics, you know, nothing crazy, I guess, but really cool story, in my opinion. Really got to press in on that guy. Now I know what the angle is and what I got to do, so I'm just moving right along here. I know where to put my hands now. Yep, I'm definitely gonna put these guys together tonight. I'm not gonna stop until they're all together, because I'm ready to move on to something else. And my 1,000 Suns, man, that is an army I wanted for so long. And when they came out with the actual Rubric Marines, I mean the new ones or whatever, and the Scarab Terminators and stuff like that, oh my gosh, so great. I just don't understand how some of it's played, because, you know, like for instance, I'm not finding it on Wahapedia or anything. Like the Terminators, they have one of them has like a missile rack or something like that, and I'm not seeing any. Maybe it's not. I don't know. It's on Battlescribe. I'm not seeing anything as an option for that. So I don't know if that's missed. I just don't know what I'm doing, which is probably the case. You know, who knows? By the way, I'm pushing these bases down with this blade on purpose, because I don't want to push down on the model and break it off, since it's plastic. And I'm using the top, again, for you guys that are new at modeling, I'm using the top so I don't cut into it as well. I know it seems like a self-explanatory type thing, but I'm sure some of you out there have done it, not even thinking about it, and you're like, damn it, it broke off, you know. Well, this will help mitigate that. I mean, you could still, I guess you could still push hard enough with the top of the blade, you know, to do, you know, to cut into it or whatever, but, you know, just something to think about. Especially if you run into a base issue like I just did here, where the base slot is not quite wide enough. It's just enough, you know, to keep you from getting it in there until you can wiggle it and make the plastic move. And sometimes the super glue or crazy glue or whatever you're using can help you with that. So if you notice the way that I'm gluing here, I'm gluing the feet and then I'm putting it on the side. That way this glue right here, if I run into that problem, should help me with making the base plastic either softer and more pliable, or it will melt it out of the way. not a, you know, it's just an experience thing. That's all I can tell you where I learned that. I mean, I think about the videos that I'm going to make once I start painting and things like that, and you know, or the live streams and stuff, and it's amazing to me that all the miniature painters and stuff that I watch, you know, or listen. Well, I say I watch them. I listen to them while I'm doing other things, just because I really don't have time to just sit there and watch. Oh dang! That my hat is off to them for the amount of effort and work that they really put into their videos. Because one, you know, I've only done 1 or 2 videos, I guess, like real videos, and I know how much work that takes to do, planning, so forth and so on. But then to be able to paint, I mean, I'm saying that, you know, it might be a challenge. I mean, I'm saying that, and then I think back to when I've taught people to paint stuff, and I'm painting and I'm talking and teaching them how, and it wasn't hard at all. But I mean, I'm not naive enough to think that it may not be an obstacle, you know, painting on here, you know, and trying to help teach people. Because I mean, honestly, my little setup here, because I don't have, like, you know, multi-$1,000 setup or anything. Well, I say that, I guess I'd be lying. Just my microphone, phone, all that stuff. I don't have the high-speed cameras those guys have. I have my phone here, my Android Samsung Galaxy, what is this, S20 or something like that, some high-speed thing. Costs quite a bit of money. But what was I going to say? Oh man, I didn't quite get that guy on there. Oh, there he goes. What was I going to say? Oh, he's still not in there. Come on, man. There we go. Man, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, point being, oh, now I remember. So, what you guys don't see, and there's no way for me to show you on the camera, I guess. Here's my hand, and right about where you see my watch, whoops, well, that's about 3 inches to the top of the phone. Oops, like I said, about 3 inches. And then in front of that 3 inches and just above it is the first light that I have. Okay, and then I have, you know, the web cameras up here so you guys can see me. Then I have another light that's up here that shines over everything as well. So all of my work I'm doing in this, I'm looking through the space of probably the width of your cell phone, you know, in any direction, except I'm looking long ways, and my hands are underneath all this stuff. So it's, you know, it's a learning curve for me, at least. I mean, some people might be like super easy, it might be easy for them. And I know that the YouTubers that I've watched in the past, all their stuff is like all up in here, you know, and zoomed down. They got these really awesome cameras and stuff, so they have an area to work, you know, and not be obscured. But this right here, like, I can, my fist does not fit between the light and the phone, we'll put it that way. So that's what I'm working with. But I'm getting used to it, and I think we're going to be alright. The real question is, when I get to painting, will I be doing it in this location, or will we have moved our entire operation somewhere else in the house? Right now, it's easy for me to do it here and not wake the kids up, for the most part. Depends on how loud things are. Downstairs will work. In the game room, I'm not sure, because It's right beneath the master bedroom, and my wife needs to sleep, obviously. And until I can get a reliable setup with headphones and things like that, if I'm going to be doing it this late at night, there's probably no way, you know, that's going to happen. But cross that bridge when we get to it. We still have thousands of models to put together. No, I'm not exaggerating. Oh gosh. Nope, we are not exaggerating. So I'm scraping off the crazy glue that I got on this blade. Alright, let's go ahead and throw this bad boy together, or these bad boys together. Yeah, we're making progress here. We'll be done before we know it. Actually, I may not even need glue for these guys. I remember that one guy I put together. I was putting it together to see if he was the one, like how it fit, and then I couldn't get him apart. But I'll go ahead and do it. I mean, for thoroughness sake. For RK's sake. Man, I miss Skyrim. Need to get back to playing that. But oh, that's what I really want to do. So I have beaten Space Hulk Deathwing on my PlayStation, but I haven't beaten it on my computer, and I need to do that. So I think I'm gonna stream at some point a non-stop. I mean, if I can get the time, a non-stop marathon of me trying to beat it. And I need to beat it, not for necessarily completion, other than I want to be able to go back to each mission, the ones that I want to, of all of them, you know, whenever I want. Right now I've only got 3 of the 7 open, I guess. So guys went together relatively quickly. Sorry, I got the fan on and everything's going on. My nose is itching, and I'm sure you guys understand. You'll have to forgive my OCD. I'm not even sure when that developed. Well, Twitch is still not working. I don't know why. Kind of weird. Oh, it's not working for me. Looks like Miniac's on though. Got 85 people watching them play games. Nice. I've never actually. Whoops. Good grief. Sorry about that. I've never actually watched Scott in live time. So that's pretty cool. They're playing Batman or something. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just not. I don't know why the video is not. Oh, there it is. Well, I guess it is working. I don't know. I don't know what the heck, man. What the heck? Alright, cool. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm nobody. I'm just a junior YouTuber dude or streamer guy trying to have some fun, share some knowledge if anybody wants it. Maybe we can do something with this thing, turn it into a job or something, work from home kind of thing. Gotta put the work in, I know that. That's all that matters. I actually would like to meet Scott and Ninjon and some of these other guys someday, just to shoot the shit with them. I listen to their podcasts and trapped in their plastic sometimes. It's kind of nice. Man, another messed up one. It's alright. Not like I don't have hundreds and hundreds of these freaking round bases with the slots in them. Probably thousands of these. I didn't count. Yeah, these cultists from the Dark Vengeance box set are pretty cool. I just don't like the way that they were painted on the box. That's pretty much what it was, and it's a shame too, because I can honestly say that paint job on the box turned me away forever of, you know, just loathing having to put these guys together. It's just like, ugh. And I mean, knowing that I'm not going to paint them like that, but for some reason, I don't know, man. I mean, does that make sense to any of you guys? It's crazy, you know? Let's see here. Oops. Gosh, man, I keep hitting that. Actually, what I'm seeing on Twitch is not the live stream. It's looks like it's it only went so far for whatever reason, and then maybe it cut out again. I don't know. That's okay. Not everybody watches every video anyway. Or stream. Okay. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. No, there is 100. I thought there was 100. Let's do these guys next. Oh, my little man just woke up. He's been doing that lately. Not because he hears me. Yeah, I think in order for Twitch to be doing like it should, I think I would have to shut the stream down and restart again. I'm not going to do that tonight. So I apologize, my Twitch followers, which by the way, we're up to 23. So whoever you are, thank you. It's like I'm growing 1 or 2 people a day or every other day. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I'm making it worth your while. I remember when I was a kid, I always thought that phrase was worth your wild, like W-I-L-D. It's crazy. And I think I used to say it that way. Worth your wild. That's right. 1 second. Excuse me. Shoot. I had a couple models I had to repair. I don't know what I did with them. They were from the Demonettes, unless I already glued them and took them back down. I don't remember. Everything went kind of haywire when the computer and everything died or whatever happened to it. Even though it's supposed to be like push fit, it isn't really, not this model. You gotta kind of roll the arm into position. Okay. I'm not kidding when I say I have probably 1,000 or more of these. I have a giant bag right here. It's full. And yes, I sat around and sorted all my bases. I keep things relatively organized. There, this is just one bag. if that tells you anything of these bases. There's 3 more over there. This guy's arm didn't go on. It was supposed to. What is your deal, boy? Cut that off. So we can get it in there a little better. There we go. That's what we were looking for. So we'll move on to somebody else for now. Oops. Almost broke my rule. Not paying attention, just excited about getting done with these guys. I'll try a little bit, you know, with my hand, but if it feels like I'm gonna force it, you know, I grab the tool. It's not worth it to break it, because then you've got that weak link down there, and then it never seems to you know, to be able to be fixed correctly, depending on, of course, the type of plastic. Some people say, oh, well, if you get the, you know, the right glue, it'll work. No, I've watched it happen right there on the game table. Same thing, doesn't matter if it melts it together. It's all about the mileage, if you will. And when all I had to do was take a second or two to do that, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Thought that might happen. It's alright. I don't like these little connection points that they do. They just seem to get in the way instead of, you know, doing the job they were meant for. I mean, I realize they're there to make this part right here easier, but I mean, think about all the Eldar and stuff like that have the same. I mean, basically that's what I did with this arm, and they don't have those connection points, you know what I mean? shift my body over a little bit because I don't want I'm hoping my hand's not going to nail those. So we got 10, 20, 30 more left to go. Alright, let's do this. More of those little connection bits right there. Hoping we don't have the same problem we just did with those other guys. To move these guys over here. Can vaguely feel them brushing up against my hand. I don't want to send them all over the floor. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Just might as well do it now. It'll give me more working space. Perfect. Just what I needed. Just what I needed. Come on, man. This one does not want to go for some reason. There we go. Turn the camera some because I just realized that me and everything else is in the way. on the one we were working with so we don't mess around and screw up. It goes on better now that it's broken off. Maybe I need to cut them all off. Oh, I just had a heretical thought. I was like, these guys look like a little bit like Krieg Deathcore, and I was like, wait a minute, my Krieg would never do that. They would never turn to chaos. Now, the question is, and I don't know the demons that well, is there, and I'm sure there is, there's a way that it can be just against people's will. They just, I mean, doesn't Nurgle do that? They just automatically become, you know, whatever. But I mean, the Krieg aren't weak-willed, and they're not exactly just human. I mean, they're, I guess for the most part, in some ways, clones. One of these guys served up. These guys will take up a whole shelf themselves, and I have just the shelf for them, the bottom shelf. Some of these guys would look really cool as like Ashen Waste Necromunda people, I think. Could definitely do a little kill team out of them. I was gonna say we're missing one. What the hell? Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna turn it around. I saw it. I can hear you now. You're like, wait. Alright, phone's in the way because, like I said, everything is so tight here. Alright, that's better. Not in the way of my hands so much anymore. 20 more to go. Save the heavy weapons guys or whatever for last because they got multiple parts. But it's okay. Because you have 10 that are heavy stubbers and 10 that are heavy flamers. Or flamers. I don't know. I would assume it's a heavy flamer. It's pretty big. And I was talking with my wife about this. I remember buying these box sets because of these cultists and all the Terminators that you got in the box. The Deathwing Terminators. I mean, it was a great box set. I don't care who you are. And of course, you know, Games Workshop steadily got away from stuff like that. Alright, we're not going to mess around with this. I'm just going to cut these off. I'm not going to sit here and fight with this stuff all night. Not when I can just do that. So let me get in here and cut these off. I'm leaving a little bit behind, just a little bit, but not much. And this is all stuff that you would never think to do, and I know this, like especially when I was younger, you would never think to cut that off. You would be like, oh God, you know, and it would never cross your mind that if you just cut it off and glued the piece together, it would be so much easier. You know, I mean, your quality of life would be so much easier putting this thing together. Yeah, look at this guy. This guy looks like Greedo from Star Wars. Hold on. Tell me he doesn't look like Greedo almost. Probably where they designed him. Stole another idea. Did you, GW? Hell, it might even be Greedo's pistol. It really kind of looks like him. trying to think. I don't believe I have any more cultists in this amount from any box sets. I think this is it out of everything. I could be wrong, but I mean, I know I have cultists because they're like Blackstone Fortress, that kind of thing, but not in the manner of, you know, an entire army of cultists. I mean, I could literally field these guys as renegades and heretics or whatever, which is the other reason I bought them. And then of course Games Workshop stopped doing renegades and heretics, and then I guess they came back with them or something like that. I don't know. Last 10 coming up. Obviously I'm doing these bottoms like this so that the model will sit flat and not poking up from the bottom. Okay, should have 5 flamethrowers and 5 heavy stubbers. So flamethrowers first, and I might go a little slower here because I want to make sure that those hoses line up like they should. I mean, they should based on the hole and the way that they have everything, but I don't know. You never know about these things. Again, that's a weak point to say the least. do this now. I can't wait on trimming that up. So I guess I'll have to do that on each hose. That's okay. Yeah, if you look at his back, see how it doesn't really sit like it should in order for the hose to make it. So if I turn it flat on his back, it's probably, yep, pulled the hose away. I figured that might happen. So, oh, well, I guess if you had the backpack in like it was supposed to be, that wouldn't happen. There we go. And now it's like it should be. I'm going to put a little extra glue here, and then I'm going to run it long ways over and under to create a sheath around it. I'll let that bad boy sit over there. Alright, cool. Create that sheath again. This guy reminds me a little bit of Bane, a little bit of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He wants to cook his food first. That's what I'm getting out of that. That on that other one. No, guess not. What the hell? Might be running out of glue. Hoping I can. Nope. Just hoping I can get through these models with this one. That's not gonna happen. break out some more glue. Alright, now heavy stubbers. I'm not sure if there's any resemblance to what we did over here. Starting to think it's not. I think this is just a backpack with ammo in it, and that's it. Although Yeah, I think it just hangs out. I don't think it actually connects. So that'll make this 10 times easier. Just a spare ammo bag is all. Yep. That's it. With some tools hanging off the bottom. And yes, I will be drilling out every gun barrel. Not just for these guys, every gun barrel that I own. There it is, the moment of truth. You have your heavy stubber guy and your heavy flamer guy. Not a bad box set, if you ask me. Warhammer, if I haven't said this before, Warhammer to me is all about infantry. I mean, I get, you know, tanks and things like that. I have plenty. But to me, it's about the amount of, you know, everything we read, everything that we know about the 40K universe is massed armies, you know, going at each other, shooting for a little bit and then going hand to hand for some reason, because there's that many. And closing the distance, I guess, similar to the definition of the Marine Rifle Squad, the United States Marine Corps, to locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver, and repel the enemy assault by fire and close combat. And that means to locate them, close the distance with them by fire maneuver, meaning shooting at them and flanking them and everything else, not just, you know, running across the battlefield straight like a lot of people think we do or did. I'm not in anymore, I'm retired, but then once you've taken care of those guys, you prepare for a counterattack, and or if you're already in the defense and the enemy's trying to assault you, you repel them with geometries of fire and close combat, hand to hand. These guys are going to be perfect as opponents for my Krieg Death Corps. Stinking heretics. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished 100 cultists. Assembly, anyway. Obviously, we still have cleanup, barrels to do, and painting, but that's going to come way later. Right now, they're playable. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So everybody can see it. So, that being said, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. But thank you guys so much. Like it says, please subscribe, give the video a like, comment if you can. Helps the algorithm, helps get us out there. Take care, and we'll see you next time.